I think I'm actually probably the most inexperienced person speaking tonight, and maybe the youngest by a couple years. I've been working with Vendasta for just a year and a half, but I've changed titles 3 times. And I get to lead one of the most amazing team of 12 writers that creates content for hundreds of businesses in the United States and Canada. And like Sean said, it's about 10,000 posts a month. I don't know how many posts you guys create in a month, but I'm pretty sure it's not 10,000. And for the most part, it's pretty fun. Like, my team has a lot of laughs. We enjoy ourselves, but sometimes we end up looking like this. We get really pissed off. But I think that's just what it's like to be a writer, right? So essentially what we do is we step into the shoes of a small business owner, and we try and figure out exactly what it is they want to see on their social media feed. So whether that's talking about their sales or their community or funny articles that relate to their industry. And sometimes that's really easy because sometimes those small businesses are super engaged and they want to tell you everything they want to say about their small business, and you're like, okay, that's enough information. But then sometimes you have small businesses that could not give fewer shits about their social media presence, and it gets really hard to try and figure out what they want from you. But it's an interesting job nonetheless. So here's why I think every single small business needs social media. First of all, it's free. What other marketing channels do you have that are absolutely free? All you need is an email account. And it's pretty user-friendly. If you can run your own Facebook account, you can probably run a business account. Secondly, it causes a lot of better visibility for your customers. So if your customer, back in the day before digital marketing, if your customers wanted to find you, you either had to have a really, really good storefront that was probably like downtown Saskatoon, had a really good sign, has really good signage, maybe some radio ads. So you had to have good location. Well, there's 2 billion people on Facebook. 23 million of them are in Canada. That's where your customers are. That's where you have to get. You have to get right in front of them. Another one is better customer service. You know that your customers are online, and you know that not every customer is always a happy camper. Sometimes it happens. They're not happy, and they leave you a bad review. And I know sometimes you can't please them all, but what looks worse? If somebody left a bad review and you just didn't answer it because looks like you don't care, or if you said, hey, I'm so sorry you had a bad experience, we'd love to make it up to you. Doesn't that look way better? 90% of consumers will be looking at your reviews online before they come to your business, and 86% of them might hesitate to actually come to you because you have a negative review. So it's really important that you handle those reviews properly. And then finally, you can boost your SEO rankings. I mean, social media is not going to put you at the very top of the Google snack pack, which is those first 3 items on the Google search, but it'll help. How often do you guys search for something? Let's say you need a haircut, you need a new hairdresser, you search it on Google. How often are you actually gonna go to the second page of Google? Never. Nobody goes there. There's nothing on there. You go for the first top maybe 4 things, and you want to be there. You want your small business to get up there. So on our team, we have 3 really golden rules that we have to abide by all the time. The first one is, imagine your grandma is reading your posts. Very good. Sometimes, though, I have people, every time I do this presentation, they say, you know, my grandma's pretty cool. She loves profanity. She thinks everything inappropriate is hilarious. And you're like, okay, don't think of your grandma. Think of mine. She's very sweet. I think she's cool. Not everybody thinks she's cool. She's 92 years old. She's very conservative, but she knows how to run her Facebook page better than I do. So she's out there and she's watching. The second rule would be, it's on the internet forever. Even if you think you posted it and you took it down 5 minutes later, somebody probably already got a screenshot, or they shared it, or somebody else has it on their phone or something. It's on there forever. And then the last one is, would you send that to your biggest client? in a direct message. If you're not willing to put that much money on the line for that post, maybe you probably shouldn't be posting it at all. So when in doubt, we always practice caution. So I thought I'd start with some memes, because everybody loves memes. And before you post that hilarious picture, just think of this presentation. So the first one is, ain't anybody got time for that? What's wrong with that? That's funny. No? Nobody's laughing. Okay. Technically, you're making fun of the way that this impoverished African American woman is speaking. That's kind of gross, right? You don't want to be making fun of people. What about this one? I mean, it's true, so. But just because it's true doesn't mean you should post it. Because when you think about it, more and more older people are on Facebook. They're checking out your Facebook page. Do you really want to piss off this old feisty little lady that tells everybody at Bridge Club about your business? No! Gotta please her. What about this one? It's just a dog. Why are you guys laughing? It's just a dog. It's a dog on a stripper pole. And you know, it's kind of making fun of the fact that people make their way through less savory means. Yeah, it's not something you want to associate with your business. Oh, this one. There's nothing bad about that. There's no swear words. There's no stripper poles, so that's good. Check, check. But it's a popular Jay-Z song, and I'd be willing to bet that you know they're not talking about ditches. Oh, this one. Pope. He looks like a boss. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Well, in business, religion is a super polarizing topic that you might as well just stay away from if you know what's good for you. What about this one? Donald, your favorite.
Yeah, no, that was fine.
Yeah, and I would say that most people in this room would probably agree he's not their favorite U.S. president. I don't disagree. But what if your clientele is American? What if they voted him in? What if they actually really believe in his campaign? Well, there goes that sale. Goodbye. What about the Obama memes? Everybody loves the bromance between Obama and Joe Biden. There's nobody that hates it. Well, technically, Trump voters probably hate it. So if your clientele voted for Trump, you probably shouldn't post that dog picture or this one. So you keep this one on your personal page, like I did. So, okay, now you're thinking, I'll take it easy on the memes. I'll never post a meme again. They're terrible. Well, that's not, it gets stickier than that, because sometimes we have to look at the resources that we're using. So take this article, for example. It's 9 high-tech essentials for every new dad. So it's an article from Men's Health. It's an article for Father's Day. It's pretty cool. It has some cool gadgets. There's nothing harmful in that, I don't think. Well, you know, it gets weird when you start scrolling down and there's Men's Health recommends, and you go down and it's 6 porn stars reveal the most insane things that have happened while filming. Yeah, that's weird. That's not what you want to bring on your business page. And it gets worse. You scroll all the way down and it's the worst. But now I know why I should cover my body in cheese slices, because that is an important question that I've always asked myself. So even the resources you're using, gotta be careful. What about BuzzFeed? Everybody loves BuzzFeed. I love BuzzFeed. What about this article that's 11 happy little things to make you smile this week? It is literally filled with puppies and kitties and bunnies and everything that makes me happy. But I'm not allowed to use it at work because some of the side articles you'll see. A young black man was shot by a cop. Terrorism. You can't see it, but that one says North Korea. That's some good water cooler talk, hey? North Korea. It's a good one. Just like, hey, did you hear about North Korea? No, you don't talk about that in business. It gets worse. Now I know I can compare my puberty experience to other people. In case you were wondering, BuzzFeed has you covered. These are all topics that you never want to touch with your business, ever. At least unless you're Betty's Brazilian, then maybe, you never know. And while we try and be really careful, we try and make sure we double check all our resources and make sure none of our memes are offensive, Everybody makes mistakes. Even big companies make mistakes. Like Razer, not the most professional ad that they've ever put out. Or Cinnabon. Oh, yeah, kind of gross, hey? Taking advantage of that. Kind of shady. Some mistakes are really tragic. Take this one. American Apparel tried to use a photo of smoke, hashtag smoke. But it's actually an image of the Challenger falling out of the sky. That's bad. What about this one? This London airport joked about, hey, we'll never drive your plane off the airstrip, ha ha ha. Well, this was an accident in 2006 in Chicago where a young 6-year-old boy died because of this accident. But they didn't double check their image, so they just used it and made a joke out of it. You have to be really careful of what you use online. And some mistakes are just plain bad. You know when we were talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly? This is the ugly. IHOP has some pretty edgy humor. Edgy. I take this one personally offensive. Thank you. Screw you, IHOP. I'll never eat there again. What about KFC? They made a sexual innuendo out of a bucket of chicken. There is nothing cool about that. They took it down an hour later, but thousands of people had already taken screenshots. That's how quickly this stuff spreads. And they're still living with it years later. So the moral of this story, I know it sounded like it was just a bunch of memes and bad articles, but the moral of the story is that if you're not a wizard on Facebook, please leave the internet and don't ever come back. Ever. I'm joking. That's not it at all. The real moral of the story is that managing your social strategy isn't that hard for a small business. Everybody in this room can do it, as long as you know what you're looking for. And just be careful. Be humble about what you post.